welcome back to Oddie's Angling TV. Today we're going to look at the Avid lead system that allows you fish safely in weed with PVA bags. Right, I'm going to go through a couple of the components that I'm using here. Starting at the hook length, I'm using the captive braided hook length by Avid. I have to say, I'm in love with it. It's absolutely superb. That's the 20-pound breaking strain weedy green colour, and it hasn't failed, hasn't let me down. Knot strength is superb. All in all, a stunning piece of kit, and it blends away really nicely, especially in the slightly weedy environment that I'm fishing in. I also use another material for the leader called Avid's pin down unleaded leader. Now what I do is I make up small lengths of this about 12 inches long, and I splice them so I get a loop at either end, which allows me then set up these a certain way. Now up to now I've been using this system with a quarter lead, an inline lead, and I've been using the same principle of using basically a swivel on a clip, and the swivel then pushes into the nose of the actual lead, and then what you do is you then bring the leader material over the top of the lead and hold it in by the actual tubing, so it makes it nice and tight and secure. What happens though is when a fish comes along and picks up the hook bait, what it will do is it will shake its head and the lead will discharge like so, and a little bit more and the lead will go all together. Now leads aren't cheap, so you don't want to be losing loads of leads, but that said, if you have a situation where you've got a load of weed in front of you, you need a fish to come up as high in the water as you can immediately. And what this system does, it confuses the fish. Without the lead, they have nothing to pivot against, and they generally rise to the surface. And you can then play them over the weed and kind of bully them a little bit into submission. It's a very effective system. I have to say it's catch me an awful lot of fish, and I know for a fact that if the worst comes to the worst, I'm not going to have a fish tethered out on the lake with a lead, because it is the safest system on the market. It's even safer than a lead clip system, in my opinion. Now, so I was using up to this point just a swivel, but the great thing about Avid, number one, do this lead. This lead is a superb piece of kit. This is a 3.5 ounce version. They do a number of versions of this kind of lead system. This one, as I say, just has a groove through the top part, and it allows the braided material, the leader, to sit down very neatly and not get in the way. Also, the shape of the lead allows for a very, very heavy nose, so when the fish does hit the weight, it really does make a huge difference. And the other thing is, it also has a great shape for the actual PVA bag, for it to sort of add to the casting aerodynamics of it. Very well thought out piece of kit, and one I have to say, well, see, look, Avid do that. They have taken their whole range, had a good look at it, and decided, what are we going to do? Are we going to send out dross, or are we going to send out the very best we can do? And with all due respect to Avid, they're sending out the very best. I'm a big Avid fan now. You might have guessed that already. So the great thing about this system is they've brought out, as I said, this drop-off stem. And what it is, it's a small little stem, and as I said, it's a small little stem here with a ring on it, which allows you put a quick speed link on, and also it allows you to loop over your actual pin down leader material. And the great thing about it is it fits exactly into the cone of the actual lead. So when you pull out everything tight, it's nice and locked in, and yet when the fish picks up the hook and gives it a jangle, it's out, and you're going to lose that lead very, very easily. A great little system, absolutely brilliant, and as I said, one that has absolutely blown me apart. The simplicity of the system. Now, yes, you could use swivels with double rings on them, just as effectively. And look, if that's what you want to do, you can do. But as I said, if you're using the Avid leads, the pin down leader is superb. Their tail rubbers are really nice and dinky. They're selling for $3.78 from MIA. The actual drop-off stems, again, they're just such a useful thing to use. The lead system itself is superb, and as I said, they have a number of leads in this range. Certainly worth a look at. But you know, the biggest thing for me is when I fish, I have to be safe. I have to know that worst case scenario, I've got a fish out there that isn't going to be tethered. It has been able to eject the lead, and regardless of my rig, I mean, that's my rig there. It's very, very simple. It's 12 inches of pin down, the lead 3.5 ounces, nice and heavy, and then about 5 inches, give or take, of the captive braided hook length. I have a little quarter sinker on it to keep everything pinned down midway. Well, it's not quite midway, it's about a third way along from the hook. Smaller bit of shrink tubing, and then the double bait, as I've said before. Now, one thing I am using here is an Ace hook I'm testing out today, and these are so sharp. So that's been a quick look at the Avid safety system for fishing an inline lead in a PVA bag near or in weed. You know, it's just not going to let you down anytime soon, and it'll catch you an awful lot of fish. So check out avidcarp.com or check out www.mainirishangling.com, because that's where I got all of these bits and pieces from. Absolutely superb.
For the best gear around at the cheapest prices, we recommend you check out mainirishangling.com.